Hello everyone, hope all of you are doing good. So here I am to share my strategy for CA final audit. So I know this is the most scary subject. Everybody has that dread towards it and a feeling that we are short on time, we are short on preparation, and we are not able to learn the stuff or remember the stuff. So I guess I will be catering to all that. And this strategy is coming from a person who scored dot 40 out of 100 in CA inter audit to scoring 41 out of 70 in just in the descriptive part in CA final and 29 out of 30 in the MCQ part, consolidating it to 70 out of 100 in final. So coming to what I did, so I did not took any lectures or coachings and prepared itself. So also to give you a brief, I did law, audit, IDT and economic law self. Because especially in audit, you know at the end you need to learn things more than understanding, and we're always short on time. So to keep it in nutshell, after immense brainstorming, I decided to do it self, considering the time and the learning part. To people who feel lectures should be taken, I think you should keep in mind the things like, first are that there are less hours, and secondly, a faculty who is covering memory techniques and mnemonics as well, because at the end you need to make them anyway, or search for them for some things. Now coming to material thing, I think it is the most difficult and the significant questions, and I took days to decide on that by reaching out to people on LinkedIn, Telegram, WhatsApp, and whatnot. And I also even tried SM with the most easiest chapter PSU, but was not able to do that, so I decided to drop the SM thing. So while deciding the book, my focus initially was, covering the 100%, the book which covers 100% content. But eventually, I felt that it's not possible, and even if it's possible, that a book covers 100%, you will automatically eventually, skip at least some part, since you need to take calculated risk in audit, and in terms I'm saying calculated risk, and skipping some part, it's not only in essay but for the chapters like bank or investigations or insurance, you need to skip some part at least. So the book I chose was of Shubham Keswani sir, and simultaneously I used to watch different faculties videos on YouTube. um, to name some, I think mainly I referred Yash Chandak sir videos, Hemant Zamani sir, and Sarthak Jain's videos. And I used to, so what I used to do was I used to incorporate the stuff from those videos I used to watch on YouTube to ensure that nothing important considered by all the faculties is left behind. So eventually, I was at the end I was having the notes which covers all the important content from the perspective of all the faculties which I referred in terms of videos and notes. Now coming to the question bank, so I referred Ravi Agarwal sir question bank because it was free, and I really can't tell how much it helped or what it did. Now coming to do it in nutshell, to say it in nutshell about books and lectures. So I think books, you can choose Shubham Keswani or even Yash Chandak. I think I've seen them both; they are both good, and I have also heard of Hemant Samani sir book. Next, if you want to go for lectures, then there is Shubham Keswani and Yash Tandak, or you can do it self. So there's a big FYI moment here. So I think the I have named some of the faculties and the for the videos and the notes I referred, because I saw them and I referred them. That is, I've seen them, right? People have scored splendid marks with other faculties notes and videos as well. So because at the end, self study matters. So I think you can refer other faculties videos too if you find them ki they are good. Now coming to the on how to study part. So I think audit can be divided into two categories, maybe the content of audit. So first is the general content, like processes or something which is self explanatory. So you need not learn that that much, and the understanding part will do. And the other is the content which you could understand, but you feel that it is it is difficult to learn per se, due to overlap with some other content or any other reason, or content which is not understandable. So the later part, you need to put efforts more on by memory techniques or by mnemonics or by any other thing you think could work. So also, according to your judgment, you should identify ki yes, this could come in exams. For example, the content which is in pointers, and likewise, not everything deserves your equal attention in terms of learning memory techniques or time or mnemonics. Second thing I want to say that so what I did was I marked the December 21, May 22 asked questions in the notes itself. That is the past two attempts question. So so that was the, you can say that was the calculated risk I took. I skipped on the topic in the last two revisions. I just used to go through them and not learn them per se. I think this is up to you. Uh, you want to just read through or do it properly, it's upon you. Next, coming to the reading and revision part. So first I could, say I could jot on the sequence in which I read the subjects. So first was FR, SFM, SCMP, law, then audit, then DTIDT. So audit was the fifth subject which I took, right? So I didn't took any lectures of audit, so I started with the first reading, of course, eventually. With the YouTube videos, the focus was mainly on the understanding part and not learning. Second, incorporating the extra content which is not there in my notes, which I referred. Third was the jotting down the memory techniques or mnemonics by faculties or making by myself only. So that was the focus while first reading, and the first reading was before the study leave. So it took me around good 20 days, taking it 5 to 6 hours per day. Now coming to the first revision, so I will be talking in the terms of full days now. So it was around 11 to 12 days, not more than that. So that the focus was on the learning part. Second, I also did the MCQ booklet in the first revision, and I also did the question bank in the first revision. Coming to the second revision, it took me around 6 days, and of course, the learning part remained the same. I used to focus on the learning part, or revising the learned part already. Second was I had marked some of the MCQs or questions which I referred in the second revision, and eventually third revision took me 3 to 4 days with the same strategy. Now, some pointers, that is for chapters or the content you skip, in the first reading or in the first revision, you try to do it first in the next revision or next readings. And clauses, BP clauses, caro, tax audit, or SC number name, I think you should start, learning them from the first revision itself. Coming to the test series, so I think I will take up separately for all the subject collectively in other videos on the test series part. But for now, to say for audit, I think doing the MTP RTP would do. Of course, we are doing the question bank which covers the RTP MTP question. But I'm talking about the latest RTP MTP. I think you could do it, writing practice with that. That would be sufficient that way. And in case you're taking that is for the self-study part. In case you're taking lectures, so I think nowadays faculties are providing with the uh, test series, so you can refer them also, of course. Now coming to the question bank, so the first thing I used to see is that, for example, uh, there's something called language thing, right? So a question is asked on maybe need of something, and the content book is covering that same part as characteristics. So you need to incorporate the need part, the need thing in that content itself, and cut that question for no reference afterwards. Next, the one thing is that, for example, there's a thing in essay like what constitutes significant deficiency, and the second question is how to identify the significant deficiency. So these are very two different questions, and they have a very different answer as well. So you need to focus on the question part more while reading the content itself, right? You tend to learn the answer part and you forgot कि ये किसका answer था. So that is the basic thing you need to, of course, see that. People used to forget this, used to forgot this, but anyway, now coming to how to attend the paper. So for MCQ, I would say that you need to read the requirement very carefully and try eliminating the incorrect one to reach the correct one. I think I applied the eliminating thing in the four to five four MCQs, which are very deep in the essay. So I think I was able to crack four of them. And for the descriptive part, I think you should answer in points and you should write. I think I wrote keywords in the question paper itself in the 15 minutes, so that I because you tend to forgot some memory techniques by the end of 1 or 2 hour. So I wrote them there itself. So I think everything else already in terms of attending paper. But still, I could explicate it with my 922 audit paper if you want, and cover that comprehensively in separate video in case you need it later on. You can comment that if you need it or not. Also, most important one is the memory techniques and the mnemonics. So I think I have served almost all the faculties videos who used to give memory techniques or mnemonics on YouTube, and of course have some of my own too. In case you need videos on that is memory techniques or mnemonics, chapter wise, which helped me attempt almost 50% of the paper. So I think you will comment below for that, and I will try to come up with that videos also. So finally coming to something which I wanted to share. So this is a page or a part of Shubham Kesani sir book only. So I turned it out from the book, I think in second division itself, because I used to tend to it so frequently, because it was like a tracker to me. So what you can see here is it is topic wise weightage and chapter wise for the previous four attempts. So it was a May 22 book. So he has given the four attempt and I incorporated the December 21 and the May 22. And for you guys, I've incorporated the November 22 thing also. So it helped me to filter down the important chapters. So as you can see, I've marked star on some chapters, this and this. Now I have marked some of the ED also, that means exam day chapters. So I think I decided on the exam day chapter, like some chapters which are compulsory to be asked in the exam, and chapters which contain limits or are difficult to learn and you tend to lose out on them. So I marked on that wise. Now coming to the, you can see there's a in the July 21 column, you can see that I have written some numbers. So they're basically the time I took. So I started doing the time tracker thing from the second division and brought it down to the 1.5 day thing. So this I did in the third division, that is the last division, and I made sure that this is the time is strictly followed during the 1.5 day. I think it's very necessary to make the 1.5 day plan beforehand. So this is just a sheet. I have made a 1.5 day plan also in a separate sheet, and I've written that from this time to this time I need to do that chapter and this chapter. So it helps you keep you on toes. And for example, also for I was able to manage all the chapters in that 1.5 day, and even I was left with time on the exam day, and I covered all the important chapters once again. So that's very rare. So next is basically the essays or trend analysis. So I was very tired with remembering the content of essay, and it is very monotonous. So thought, let's try divide them in category ABC and try to focus on some important ones. So that way I tend to some trend analysis I saw on the YouTube. So they have allocated it attempt wise also. So I referred that, and on that basis it was seen key what is the important ones, and also I referred some faculties video to decide on category A, B and C. So that was one thing. The next thing is the So this is the sheet of tax audit. So this is basically a memory technique or mnemonic, you can say. So I referred Khushbu ma'am's video on Academy, and it was I think very good. I think I was able to remember quite well. Next is it's the same tax audit one only. It's company's X section number. In case you think you need to learn that, you can learn that. It's good and easy also. Then it is the P. It's sorry, it's Caro clauses. So what I did was there's a proper technique for all the for remembering all the clauses. There's a story. So it's not covered here, I guess. So after tending to that, learning that, and learning the inside part also of the Caro clauses, I took a sheet and I tried writing that stuff, the Caro number, the Caro name, and the clause number, name, and the inside stuff. And I tried to cover it in one this sheet and this sheet. So that this is all I referred in the 1.5 day for Caro. It covers everything. So I know it seems very clumsy, but if you write it yourself, so you will be able to crack it through, of course. Next, this is basically PE clause number and name. It's also memory techniques that how I learned it, like 8 pet, so 9 fine, 110 and 40. So that way I learned. This is also PE thing. This is the Hemant Samani's. I think he has uploaded something which confuses a student regarding the clauses number in the PE professional ethics. So that was one thing I noted, and this is the same thing. And then I referred RTP, MTP, and if I found something which is not there in the content, or which is something new and could be asked, so I used to jot it down also or take a print of that. Next, this is the same thing of MTP, RTP, and another thing, I guess, if I say on what else I referred, so there was something called Audit Powered by CS Arthak Jain, in which he has something on the professional ethics clauses, on the firm name, photo, or what is permitted, what is not permitted, clause 11 and clause 4. So I referred that also. I took a print of that. And there were some LDR notes of Hemant Samani. So not of the MCQ booklet and the that part, but I took of else things, and that's all. And I've already said that key if you need anything that memory techniques or mnemonics which I should share, I think you can comment down below, and I will try to upload that also. And last thing that I think that's all from my side. You can ask your queries in the comment section, and we'll either reply there itself or gonna take up in the next video. And you can join Telegram channel, the link is below, and that is in the description box. Have already shared the certified copies and will be updating such things more. Subscribe and stay tuned. Thank you and all the best.